While we slept, another system woke up. Not a market, not a company, a network. It didn't trade stocks this time. It traded decisions. Over the last 2 decades, we built machines to handle our money. First, they traded faster than we could. Then they started managing what we earn, what we owe, and what we're worth. Now they're learning to manage something even bigger. Us. Every choice we thought was ours, credit, work, trust, opportunity, is now touched by code. We used to control technology. Now it quietly measures us. And the strange thing, the unsettling thing, is that it feels helpful, comfortable, almost natural. After midnight, when cities dim and offices fall silent, the real machinery of our financial world powers up. Billions of tiny promises made during the day must be settled. A payment here, a trade there, an order that needs to clear. People once handled these with phones and paper. Now lines of code do it all before dawn. The industry calls this T+1. Trade today, finalize tomorrow. It sounds simple, but behind those 3 words is an entire universe of automation. Thousands of systems communicating quietly, organizing information the way a nervous system fires through the body while you sleep. It's fast, efficient, and invisible. Across London, Evelyn sleeps. Her savings shift by a few decimals. No alert, no warning, no need for one. The system updates everything automatically. If she looked deeper, if anyone did, they would see streams of instructions ready to execute at the tiniest signal, like students waiting for the bell, like dominoes already lined up. Progress used to mean more control, more confidence, more certainty. Now it means something different. It means trading control for convenience, certainty for speed, and judgment for automation. Because when a world moves too fast for people to keep up, people quietly step out of the loop, and machines step in, silently, smoothly, without a single announcement. There's another system running underneath all of this, a ledger, but not the kind you can hold. Instead of paper, it's made of blocks of data. Each block confirms something happened. Once added, it can't be changed. Think of it like writing a truth in wet cement. Once it sets, it's permanent. This isn't cryptocurrency. This is the plumbing of global finance, the digital railway that keeps money flowing between banks, brokers, funds, and governments. Every day, trillions ride this rail. You don't see it. Evelyn doesn't see it. But our financial lives are carried by it. Why build something so rigid? Because when millions of trades and transfers happen every hour, you need a record that can't be argued with, a truth that can't be erased, a decision no one has the power to undo. Banks used to rely on trust, ledgers, and human oversight. Now they rely on cryptographic finality, mathematical certainty. Evelyn checks her banking app. A small line appears beneath a transaction, processed on new rail. She doesn't think twice. It worked. Her money arrived. End of story. But beneath that simple message is something profound. The rules that decide the order of our financial world no longer live in laws or institutions. They live in code. Lines of logic determine what goes first, what waits, and what gets rejected instantly. And because these decisions happen at the speed of light, most of us don't even notice. Power doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it becomes silent simply because silence is faster. Systems like this need supervision, but not human supervision. Not anymore. So another system watches, a watcher designed to notice every detail and every deviation. Regulators call it the audit trail, a complete record of every order, every price change, every market movement down to the millisecond. Think of it like a diary that writes itself, every second, every heartbeat of the market. But unlike people, the watcher doesn't understand intention, it only understands patterns. If a trader behaves strangely, or a machine acts out of character, or a flood of orders suddenly appears, it flags the pattern. A light turns on somewhere, an alert pings, a database updates, and most of the time, no human sees any of this until much later. Oversight used to mean long reports, analysts at desks, people scanning screens for anomalies. Now oversight means algorithms supervising algorithms. That sounds safe. It often is. Until many of these systems begin responding to each other in ways no one predicted. We built a mirror to keep finance honest, but mirrors aren't neutral. They show whatever angle they're pointed toward, and someone, or something, is always pointing them. As Evelyn goes about her day, the watcher logs every tiny movement in the financial world around her. She'll never read the logs. She'll never need to. But the logs remember everything. And in a world where so many decisions have no human author, memory becomes power. One morning, Evelyn wakes up to a small notification. Credit review complete. She blinks. She never asked for one. But the system doesn't need her request. It just runs, all the time. It checks her spending patterns, how often she shops, what time of day she pays bills, whether she prefers subscriptions or one-offs, even how quickly she scrolls through her statements. All of it becomes part of the model. Overnight, her score moved. Not by much, but enough for her to notice. She calls customer service. The representative sounds apologetic, but the answer is always the same. The system updates continuously. Manual review isn't possible. Not personal, just protocol. Credit used to be slow, a number updated once a month. Now it's a living, breathing value that shifts with the rhythm of your life. If you hesitate on a payment screen, if you spend differently during a stressful week, if you withdraw a bit more cash than usual, the system sees the pattern. It doesn't judge. It doesn't think. It doesn't understand context. It just adjusts. We used to measure progress with numbers. Now numbers measure us. And what's even stranger, we've gotten used to it. Bridge for new viewers. The same logic that once moved billions on Wall Street now moves the choices in our daily lives. Evelyn applies for a new job. She's confident. Her resume is strong. The posting says, AI-assisted screening ensures fairness. She uploads her PDF. The progress bar fills. Analyzing fit score. Thank you for applying. The next day, a rejection. No feedback, no explanation. Just decision made by automated assessment tool. Did she type something wrong? Use the wrong tone? Submit at the wrong time of day? She doesn't know. The answer lives inside a black box that neither the employer nor she can open. Across many industries, similar boxes now decide who gets interviews, who gets loans, who gets access. Efficiency scales. Context shrinks. Who exactly is accountable now? This moment isn't dramatic. Nothing explodes. No alarms ring. But Evelyn feels something shift inside her, a sense of being judged without being seen. Not cruelty, not hostility, just indifference. And somehow, that feels worse. The systems deciding Evelyn's credit and job prospects don't exist in isolation. Governments use models too. Central banks, regulators, oversight committees all rely on AI-powered early warning systems. These systems scan for financial stress before it appears in the official data. If a model flashes red, interest rates shift, liquidity rules adjust. Policies move before the people affected even realize what's coming. Evelyn scrolls past a headline, AI predicts market risk before data confirms it. She doesn't think much of it. Another article in the news, another prediction. But that prediction will influence her mortgage rate, the cost of groceries, the value of her savings, the stability of her job. In a world where signals move faster than decisions, and decisions move faster than explanations, policy becomes reactive, not deliberate. We built a machine that acts before we ask. We called it safety. Maybe it's just momentum. Because when models predict risk, banks tighten lending, businesses delay hiring, consumers spend less, and the prediction creates the reality. It's not manipulation. It's not conspiracy. It's just reflex. A reflex made of code. All these systems talk now, not directly, but through the signals they generate. Evelyn's spending data feeds her bank. Her bank's aggregated data feeds the central regulator. The regulator's stress indicators feed international models. Those models feed financial rules. Those rules change interest rates, and interest rates change Evelyn's spending again. Round and round. A perfect circle. No villain, no plot, just feedback. We call it progress, but it's really delegation. And each delegation hands a tiny piece of control to a system that doesn't know what control means. Evelyn closes her phone. Her room is quiet, but she still hears the hum in her appliances, her streetlights, her devices charging on the nightstand. The hum of a world run by silent negotiation between machines. It doesn't sound evil. It sounds normal. And that is what makes it powerful. Quiet things often are. We never really lost control. We traded it. A little privacy for a little convenience. A little choice for a little speed. A little uncertainty for a little comfort. Every auto update, every smart recommendation, every set it and forget it was a quiet yes. Yes to systems that decide faster than we think. Yes to logic we don't read. Yes to rules we don't question. We didn't surrender to machines. We taught them what we value, and they learned it perfectly. The more they learn, the easier life feels. Bills pay themselves, cars drive themselves, markets balance while we sleep. It's hard to fear what feels so gentle, but somewhere in that calm, we forgot a truth older than technology. Power doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and we call it help. Maybe it isn't too late. Maybe there's still time to teach the code differently, to write rules that remember what humans forget, not to take control back, but to share it wisely. Now we see money was only the start. The next question is governance. When the code that runs our wealth starts to run our laws, what happens to choice itself? Because if automation can already steer the economy, how long before it quietly starts steering us?